Hey, my name is Stephanie Barron, and I am your transformation, life, and mindset coach. I help women to create a vision for their lives. I help them to achieve the mindset needed to obtain that vision for their lives, and I teach them how to set the steps so that they can do that. Uh, I need y'all to go and above the video, there should be a link that you can click. Like I always, I'm live in 3 places. So if y'all comment, I won't be able to see it unless you go and you click the link, just giving approval so that I am able to see y'all comments. Sorry about yesterday. I had a little family situation going on, but I am here tonight and I am ready to continue and do part 2 of my masterclass. I will be starting it off with a recap of my part 1 for my next level mindset masterclass. Uh, my mind's trying to go blank on me, but I'm gonna keep on pushing. So, anywho, recapping my night 1. What is the next level mindset? The next level mindset is the mindset that you need to obtain in order to gain the things that you want in life, in order to be able to reach your goals, in order to be able to pursue the life that you want. It's the things that you need and the changes that you have to make in your mindset in order to obtain those things. That's what the next level mindset is. On my first day, part 1, I talked to you guys about a fixed mindset versus a growing mindset. I told y'all that a fixed mindset means that you feel like what you have is what you get. You think that, the skills that you have, the mindset that you have, you feel like that's all. And there is no extra that's all. The growing mindset is understanding that you can always grow. There are always more skills that you can learn. It's just really putting yourself in a position where you are able to gain whatever knowledge or create whatever habits are needed in order to reach that. A lot of people do have a fixed mindset, but that's something that can be changed. That's something that can be shifted into a growing mindset. It just takes you being intentional. Uh, I asked you guys on day 1, part 1. I told you, to close your eyes and imagine yourselves 5 years from now. I told you to close your eyes, imagine yourself 5 years from now, and to think in detail. What do you see? Who are you 5 years from now? You're happy, you're prosperous, you're living the life that you want. What do you see? What kind of job do you have? Where's your family at? Where are you staying? Those are the type of things, to think about. And when you imagine yourself happy and you imagine yourself living the life that you want, then that's how you're able to start thinking and setting the goals and coming to the realization and being able to understand, okay, what are the things that I need to do so that I can get to that? How can I shift my mindset, or how can I shift my life and so that I'm able to have that? We can make it anywhere in life that we want to. It just takes a lot of accountability. It takes a lot of intention, and we have to be willing to let go of things as well. I actually am in the process of moving. I was packing up my stuff today, and I have my storage closet outside that's just full of crap. And I'm about to move to this new position, physically, my home with my kids. And, I was going and there was so much crap in there. Y'all, it's stuff I didn't even remember. And that's a lot of stuff. Most of that stuff I threw it away. And sometimes we have to actually take our lives and we have to take a look at the things that we have inside, the things that we have hidden, the things that we've tucked and put away that we might not even remember, because those are things that really could be holding us back And those are things that could be preventing us from being able to reach and obtain that next level mindset. Whenever we don't choose to face the things that we've chosen to hidden or we've chosen to just tuck away, then those are things, like I said, they can hold us back. Those are things where we can end up triggered. And we hadn't even thought about that for forever, but here it is blowing up in our faces because it's something that we chose to never acknowledge or think about, that we never chose to work or allow ourselves to work through. Um, and we also talked to you guys about the limiting and the liberating beliefs. I gave y'all homework. Who did it? Did you do the homework? The homework was to write down your limiting beliefs and replace them with liberating beliefs. And I told y'all to repeat the liberating beliefs for a couple days, however many days you felt like you needed to. For the ones that are tuning in today, limiting beliefs are the kind of beliefs that keep you held stagnant in life. They're the kind of beliefs that keep you stuck in a place where you feel like you can't grow. You might feel like you're not good enough. You might feel like you would never be able to obtain that. You've never seen anybody else in your family make it to such a level. So, you might think, who am I to think that I can have these things? Limiting beliefs, it could be in money. Maybe you feel like even if you were to make a whole bunch of money, you wouldn't know what to do with it because everybody in your family is just blown anything that they've ever gained. Maybe you feel like, sorry, child. Maybe you feel like, that you don't deserve to make money. There's some people, we hold on to our past and we hold on to mistakes that we've made. And instead of us being able to let go so that we can grow, we try to define ourselves by our past. But the realization is that you are the one that gets to define who you are. You can wake up tomorrow and decide that you want to become a whole new person. You don't want to be the person that you've been for the last 5, 6 years. Are you going to be able to change in a day? No, but you work towards it. Every single day, you pick these habits that you know that you need to change. You figure out what changes and how you can change those habits. And so you start doing that instead. It takes 21 days to create a new habit. So in 21 days, if you get up and you do this day, you might forget to do it tomorrow, but you keep on trying and you keep on pushing and you keep on pushing. And eventually, before you know it, you've created a new habit. You're not even thinking to go do that old thing that you used to do that maybe wasn't so helpful to you. When you're working to obtain this next level mindset, you have to take the time to stop and think about what are things that have hindered you. The life that you've been living and the level that you've been living your life at, it's something that you've been doing for a while. And most likely you have gotten to a position where you're comfortable with where you are in life. We all get there. We all get to the point where, we think to ourselves, this isn't so bad. I know how to maintain here. It might be a little crazy and chaotic, but I know how this works. I'm used to this. This is what works for me. So you have to think about the things that could be keeping you stuck. If you feel like you're scared, what scares you about the next level? What scares you when you think about yourself being successful? What scares you when you think about yourself living the life that you want to live? It can be intimidating, and sometimes, a lot of times, we do fear change because the thing about change versus staying in your comfort zone is that it's unknown. A lot of people, they fear failure, but in reality we all fail. We all fail at different levels and chapters of our lives. We have our ups and we have our downs. The question is, what do you do with that failure? Do you use that failure and do you take it as a lesson? Do you learn from it? Do you go back to your drawing board and do you revise what you did? Reflect on it. Okay, well, I know I tried to do this, but that didn't really work out. Why didn't it work though? What was it about it that I could have done different? When you start to take those failures and you start to take the time to reflect and acknowledge them, and you take the time to really look, that's when you're able to start to learn more about yourself. If, we're just rushing through life and we're just doing whatever, but we're not taking the time to stop and think about the things that we're doing, if we're not taking the time to, really stop and look at what happened and how do we feel about it, then we're not going to really have an understanding of self. We'll find ourselves caught up in the sauce of life, as I like to say, lost in the sauce. We'll find ourselves lost in the sauce of life. And we might be in a position where we've been stuck in autopilot for so long that we don't even know ourselves. We've gotten lost. It's possible for you to still wake up every day. It's possible for you to go to work, go to the gym, go hang out with your friends and still be in autopilot mode and still be lost. You can be surrounded by people and still be lonely. Sometimes, people, they don't like to be by themselves because they don't like the thoughts that they have by themselves. So they constantly surround them by people. They constantly surround themselves by people, but they're still lonely people. Everything, every single bit of you stems from your mindset. Your mindset controls your life. So your mindset that controls your perspective, how you perceive things, how you receive things. It controls your emotions. It controls your actions. You always hear me say, and y'all will probably end up saying it yourself one day, but I always say that if you can change your mindset, you can change your life. You can definitely change your mindset. So guess what? You can definitely change your life. Is it easy? No. Do you have to be intentional? Yes. Do you have to hold yourself accountable? Yes. Being able to change your mindset takes you sitting down with yourself and taking those moments to really dig into the very depths of who you are. You have to focus. You have to acknowledge how you feel. We live in a day and a time where people do not like to talk about how they feel. People do not even like to show that they feel, honestly. We walk around here like, oh, I'm big and bad. I don't care about this. I don't care about that. But inside, we're breaking. So, in order for you to be able to obtain the next level mindset, you have to be honest and authentic with yourself. Because sometimes, even when there's nobody around, we still lie to ourselves. We still sit here and tell ourselves that it doesn't matter. We still sit here and tell ourselves, I don't care about that. But inside, it can really be breaking us. If you don't take the time to be honest with yourself, if you don't take the time to really learn yourself and how you're feeling, then you're not going to be able to control your life. In order to control your life, you have to be able to change your mindset. And if you're not taking the time to get to know yourself, then you're not going to be able to, because you're not going to know what's going on with you. The more that you take the time to learn yourself, the more that you take the time to focus, then the better understanding you will have of yourself, the better understanding you will have of why you act the way that you do, why this triggers you, why this makes you feel like that. And as you're able to understand those things, then you are able to gain more control. If you know that certain things make you mad, then you can figure out why do they make you mad. And you will be able to be in more control if you see a situation like that coming versus being blindsided. You don't always have to act off of emotion. And when you have that deeper understanding of yourself and you are able to obtain that mindset, then you get to a point where emotions no longer control you. It's a nice peaceful thing because sometimes, when we allow our emotions to control to control us, and we act out of emotions, it causes a whole bunch of mess and strife. And peace is way over there somewhere. But when you get to the point where you're no longer controlled by your emotions, you get to a position where you can have peace. And when you take the time and you're taking the time to understand yourself, sometimes it helps you understand other people even better as well. So tonight I want to talk to you guys about some keys and gaining that knowledge and deeper understanding of yourself, of some things to help to shift that mindset that you have. Um the thing about our mindset that we have, I talked about it a little bit last time when I was doing part 1, is that it's something that's instilled in us from the things that we've gone through. Our stories have a big impact on our mindset, our environment when we were growing up, our childhood, the society that we live in. Everything around us impacts the mindset that we have. But it can be changed. We have these limiting beliefs, like I was talking about, which are these negative things, negative, that we tell ourselves, that others have told us, that just kind of hold us where we are. If a person can get a hold of your mindset and they can get you mentally, then they will have you stuck. So you have to be able to speak life into yourself. You have to be able to refocus yourself in these moments where you find yourself down and out. In these moments where you find yourself maybe listening to a limiting belief that in the moment that isn't true, but in that moment you might not be able to quite feel it isn't true. Sometimes we go through things, and in those moments, it's really hard to get out of that. So if you are able to say liberating truths to yourself, if you're able to rewire your mind, then that's something that can help. Another thing that can help you with fighting against the negative thoughts that you might be having is affirmations. I know you probably have heard people, saying affirmations, and you're like, what is the purpose of that? But when you say these affirmations to yourself, the more that you repeat something, the more that you begin to believe it. That's why it's so important to be mindful of the things that you're pouring into yourself. If all you're pouring into yourself is negative self-talk, and you sitting here in your mind dogging and downing yourself and everything, then that's what you're going to spew from yourself. Self-hate. You're going to spew anger from yourself. So when you replace those negative thoughts and you start saying these positive affirmations, then that's what you start to pour into yourself. That's what you start to believe about yourself. So if instead of you saying, I'll never be anything, if you sit here and you start telling yourself, I can be anything that I choose to be. I have total control over my life. When you start telling yourself things like that, then it starts to feel good. You start to believe those things. And if you believe it, that's what matters. And it doesn't matter what anybody else says to you. You are the one, y'all hear me say this all the time. You are the one that defines your life. You have total control. Your past does not define you. Other people cannot define you. I don't know if I can say it enough. You are in control. Nobody else. You have the power to have control of your life. You get that. Nobody else. And a lot of times we sacrifice that power that we have over our own lives And we get so lost in trying to sacrifice and do for others, but you have to take care of yourself first. You can't pour from an empty cup. I know y'all have heard that so many times, but you can't. You cannot pour from an empty cup. If you sit here and you're just pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring, but you're not being poured into, you're not pouring anything into yourself, then you will literally deplete yourself. Once it's dried up and there's nothing left of you, you can't pour into anybody. You have to make sure that as you're trying to pour into other people and as you're trying to help other people, that you are taking care of yourself too. You have to. Self-care is something that's necessary, mandatory. You have to do it. If you don't, then that's another thing that can keep you from being able to achieve the next level mindset. If you're not happy with yourself, you can't be happy with anybody else. You cannot put the conditions of your happiness, you cannot put you can't expect anybody else to come and take on the responsibility of making you happy. That's not how it works. That's unrealistic and that's definitely unfair. I need you to be happy and I can be happy too. But you have to take control of your own life. You can't sit here and wait for people to come and do everything for you. You can't sit here and just let life pass you by while you just accept it. Well, you can, but you're gonna be miserable while you're doing that. You have to take a stand for yourself, and you have to say to yourself that I'm done. I'm done. I'm no longer accepting this. This is not what I want. This is not making me happy, and I'm taking control of my life. That's something that you have to say to yourself for yourself. That's something that you have to do. A lot of people, they are tired of doing the same things over and over and getting the exact same results, but they don't know where else to go. They don't know what else to do. And that's where somebody like me comes in. Like I say, I am a transformation life and mindset coach. I am taking clients right now. And it's at the point, I just want to help. I've been somebody that was lost in the sauce, so lost in the sauce. I had no idea who I was. I had no idea what I wanted. I was lost in being a mother. I was lost in taking care of my family, making sure they had everything they need. And the whole time I was drowning myself. So I know what that's like. I've been there. But it's something that you can get through and you can definitely become triumphant over that. So, like I said, I am taking clients right now. If you want to, you can schedule a discovery call with me and we can go from there. So, I will scroll my link on here and you just go to that and you are able to schedule a discovery call with me. And sorry, my sister just walked in. You're able to schedule a discovery call with me and we'll talk about it. And if we're a good fit, then we can most definitely work out something tailored to you. If you're tired and you're tired of being tired, then contact me. I'm here. I am going to wrap this thing up. God bless y'all, and y'all have a wonderful night. See you later.